And so sometimes I'll step outside. I'll be in the house for a couple days and I step outside. I'm like, oh shit, I live in Mexico. People are speaking Spanish right now.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Dope Life podcast. I am your host, Coach AJ, and let's get into it. Today's episode, I gotta say, I've literally watched many web series with this person on. So it's kind of dope that I've met her, and now she's hopping on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Krystal Moment. Hey! Welcome, Krystal. How are you? How have you
Oh
been? How you
man,
living?
life be lifing. I've been pretty good considering. Like
Ooh.
finding a lot of gratitude every day. It's a good time to be alive.
That's it. So before we go ahead and get into it, where can they find you? Put you tell your handles
Um,
and all of that. Social
okay.
media.
So anything like Krystal Moment. So like Krystal Moment Facebook, Krystal Moment, Krystal Dot Moment on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. So again, welcome and thank you for having you here on the Dope Life podcast. Before I get into it, y'all, I am congested as shit. Your girl got a cold going on, but I'm gonna power through it. I'm gonna power through it. So if you see me like coughing and stuff, just know I'm gonna take a shot of rum and have some lime and honey after this. I'll be aight. Um, so I was watching one of your lives. Well, I think it was last year, and I noticed that you relocated. So I'm just curious, what ultimately made you, besides America being kind of ghetto, but what else ultimately made you want to relocate to a complete different country?
So essentially it was because America is pretty ghetto. But also what added to it was just kind of like the idea of trying to maintain this what we all have found to be soft life or claimed it to be soft life and what that looks like for me. So
Mhm.
like I personally don't believe that it's okay to have to like work to live or live to work. And
Yep,
like
I get
I
that.
want to be able to work and find peace in my work and happiness in my work and not feel like I'm pressed to do it so much that I can't survive. I felt like survival was something
Mm,
that was really important to me when I was living back stateside, and it got to a point where like I got really tired of trying to survive. It got to the point where it got really dark for me. And it was like it's
yeah,
either
I get that.
survival where I'm actually breathing above water, or I'm drowning. I can't take it. So it was live or die
Yeah.
for me. And so I got to that point, and I was
Mm.
like, Spirit came to me after talking to my homegirl. I was like, I had plotted on trying to move out of the country for quite some time, but I never really took it into real consideration until I had a conversation with my homegirl, and I started seeing one of my other homegirls out of the country, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, I wish I could do that. And for some reason, I was just kind of pushed towards becoming more remote, and I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it because I was so wrapped up in doing face to face work that I was like, there's no way I can be remote.
Right.
And then for some reason, it just kind of worked out that I just kind of taught myself how to do that. And eventually, I just kind
Mm.
of got real comfortable with working remote. So comfortable, in fact, that I was just kind of doing it consistently. And I was like, I could possibly
Yeah.
do this, but I don't know if I made a whole vision board, and I was like, okay, 2022, we're gonna move here,
Yeah.
do this.
Well, you did this in 2022, like
Mm-hmm.
COVID time.
So I
Wow.
was like, we're
Okay.
gonna move here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and this is a vision board, just a regular vision board. I'm just putting my
Yeah,
vision.
I hear you.
I
Yeah.
didn't think that me putting 2022 on there basically manifested me to move in 2022. I was thinking these are my goals for 2022 to like
Mm-hmm.
project into the future. Out of
Right.
nowhere, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yo, my lease is about to be up. This is getting really ridiculous. I'm really kind of tired of this, and I don't know what to do anymore. And one day I just sat there and I meditated and I had a conversation with God, and I was like, I don't know, and I feel like I really need a sign to make this okay for me because I've taken chances
Yeah.
before, but they were chances that were kind of more secure. Um, I had a
Of
conversation with
course.
my
Yeah.
dad, and I was like, yeah, I'm considering leaving leaving to move to Mexico. Like, what do you think about that? I was thinking about moving next year. He was like, why next year? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, why not now? What do you have to do? I was like, nothing. I guess. And so, and then it's like
Yeah.
right after he said that, things just kept clicking. Things kept like just showing up on my.
More and more
Just God
signs.
was like,
Yeah.
sign, 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 sign. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so before I knew it, the leasing office sent me a message. It's like, hey, what do you want to do? And I was like, I guess I'm not renewing.
My lease.
I think I should be leaving. And so that's essentially what happened. Threw my shit in storage, drove my car to, well, my friend came and got my car and drove it to Oklahoma, packed my shit up, threw it in storage, and dipped out, me and my doggy.
I love that. That's dope. Ain't it crazy though? Like when you get those signs, and it's I feel like it's nuts because we get those signs on a regular basis, but it's just kind of like we cloud it
All
with
the
just other
things, all
shit.
the time.
So we don't really see it or pay attention to it, and we're just like, nah, like nah, I don't got this. And when you mentioned security, gosh, that hit home with me because I just went through that where I had to almost like I had a conversation with God in my bed a couple of weeks ago where I surrendered. I said, "Look, I get it. You want to use me as a vessel. You want to use me as a messenger. I hear it. I'm done. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not worried about the security. You've already protected me and taken care of everything. You've never allowed me to go without. So why would I sit back and not trust you? I surrender." That's all I just said. I
Because
surrender. I'm done. Like I can't.
if you don't, when I tell you God will whoop your ass. When I tell you, he's like, listen, you better take a second to hear me. Because if you don't, I can make it so
Remember,
much harder for
we're
you.
his children. Like we're his children. Like he would say, "Look,
Yeah.
this child. I swear." Like I know sometimes he be looking at me like, "What you doing? Didn't I set you? What you doing?" I know that for a fact. But if okay, let's say for example, someone right now that's watching, listen to this, they want to relocate. What advice can you give them?
Mm.
Any
Any
advice
place at
at
all. If
all?
you wanted to relocate,
Like, where does one start? Because you just packed up and cut with
for
your doggy,
real.
but
Okay, so like
like,
I really considered the type of business that I'm in because I do more of kind of a face to face type thing. But since I'm able to do it Zoom, it made sense for me. What makes a huge difference for me is the time zone. That's something that really makes a difference to me. I'm not gonna lie, there are places that I want to move right now that that I'm sitting there like, oh, I really want to do it, but I'm thinking about like how different the
I'm
time zone
still,
is going to be, and like time zones don't even
yeah.
stay the same in America, like ghetto, and so
Wait. What you mean they don't?
they change.
Yeah,
Like Central Time
you mean like
Zone,
daylight savings type of thing?
So where I'm at in Mexico used to be Central Time Zone. Now I'm Eastern.
Okay. Yeah, we're Eastern. You're not like the Eastern. I'm used to
I'm
it.
sure, but like we have,
Yeah,
you know, the time zones changed. Daylight savings
it
time is a
is okay.
thing.
I'm gonna be.
You roll it back, you roll it
It, I
forward.
know, but
It's
it's
ghetto as
shortened.
hell. It's
I will be honest. Daylight savings is so detrimental to millions of Canadians. And anybody that deals with Eastern Standard Time could probably agree. Around this time of the year, I personally suffer from
the
seasonal
whole
depression.
thing.
I didn't
It's a
have
whole
it.
thing. As soon as
It's a
there's
whole thing.
proven fact
I was
behind
diagnosed I was diagnosed maybe 4 years ago. Um, just a lot of change of events, and I was working underground. So let's say I'll give you an example. I would start work at 5:30 in the morning, and then I would have a work till like about 9:30, 10. So I got a little window of snow and cold and sun. But number one, I ain't going outside because it's cold. Number two, I only have about 4 to 3.5 hours to eat, possibly work out, maybe take a nap, shower, and commute back to work. So I'd get back to work around 1:32, finish work at 5:30. It's pitch black. By the time I walk up those steps or come out of the subway station to get my car, it was black. And I was like, Then on top of it, I lived in my parents' basement,
So where's
which,
the vitamin
yeah,
D in this
the windows,
situation?
none.
There's none.
The windows, the windows were so small, and I never, like, Caribbean parents, they just shut everything up. Like, it was shut up. And I just remember, like, coming home and be like, did I see the sun today? Like, I'm confused. And it became a repetitive thing. And then I was diagnosed with seasonal depression because I wasn't getting any vitamin D. I was
Man, we couldn't
suffering.
live in
Like,
Alaska. We'd be messed up.
Alaska's a little tricky because don't they have, there's like some days where they just have like
Complete
darkness, I
darkness, and
think.
then there's days that they have complete sun. So it's like,
Complete light. And it's
what
like,
time
how
of
am
the
I
day
going to
is
see
it?
through
Somebody
that?
tell me.
I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my like blind curtains. I'm wondering if these things gonna be good enough for those days. When there's like complete, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would suffer. You gonna suffer for
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
But hey,
No.
yeah, I wish they would get rid of daylight savings. I think it's
It
ghetto. I think
is.
it's
It is. So
stupid. They were thinking about
that
doing
was
it.
one of the things that
I
was
just,
definitely the most important
yeah,
part. The time zone change, making sure that I can align with that, and it wasn't going to be too hardcore on my schedule and what I need to be like
right,
comfortable for me and what I do on a day to day basis. That was super important to me, and that's something that I kind of realized even more so recently. What I would also suggest is do research. I actually I had a friend that was already here. That freaking made it so much easier. Right. That made it so
okay,
much
that's dope.
easier.
That's
But
dope.
also the community. There's also a huge, a pretty huge black community out here where like, yeah,
What?
you'd be surprised. There's like parties that happen with all of us. Sometimes we have shindig box socials where we like throw some food together. There's one lady out here. Shout out to Shauna. My God, this woman put together like Halloween and like was it Christmas? Maybe Jesus, that lady cooks like her
Oh, we
she
love
cooked like the
Shawnee.
ancestors told her to love us.
Ooh, that is
And some of that
love.
stuff be infused, but I'm like, yo, it's amazing.
Okay,
So like the community definitely like
that
added to the the decision as well because honestly I don't really want to live in a place that doesn't have a whole like that lacks melanin. It is crazy because I've been places like that and I the places that I'm kind of looking at I'm like oh I really want to go those places too but I need that at
yeah.
minimum the community to be available to me.
Yeah, I
So
get
that way I
that.
can at least have my my small conversations, my small connections with people that are like minded, right?
Yeah.
Um, Also, so what you could do is try to sell as much as you can before you dip. Let me tell you about storage fees because
I was gonna say 'cause you said you put your shit in storage, so I'm like,
it hurts. It hurts a little because it's an extra bill, right? But it's a bill that like increases because you have to think about like the cost of living is increasing. This is a horrible time to have storage. I feel because
really?
you have to think about it, right?
Okay.
So with storages, they're basically there for when people move from one place to another. Most of the time, that's what they're used for, right? So you have to realize that, like right now, what's really high? The cost of houses, the cost of apartments, creeping the hell up. People are
Yeah,
moving back in with their parents, right?
I know. Even my city, I'm blessed,
It's
but
crazy. It's really crazy in America too. So people are like
yeah,
skedaddling. They're like, yo, I'm gonna go move in with my mom or I'm gonna go figure something else out. And even though I have this 2 bedroom apartment, I'm gonna stick this in storage because they don't have no room for this here, or they go try to find out a roommate situation.
yeah.
It's like storage fees are going up, essentially. So you have to take in
Mm,
consideration that that's going to be another bill that's going to be coming out of your your monthly expenses, right? So
expenses,
that's
yeah.
one thing that I would consider, or I would tell anybody that's getting ready to move overseas: consolidate that shit. Get the smallest if you need to get.
Sell as
If you
much
need to
as
get
you
a storage, get the
can.
teeniest, tiniest one. Sell everything that you can, and everything that you cannot, put that in storage, or put it in your car or something if you have a car, whatever the case may be. But get the teeniest, tiniest one if you need one. If you don't, if you can sell and part with all of your shit, Do it.
I'm just assuming you got
No,
the
I
big
didn't get
ass
the big
one.
ass one.
Oh.
I got a what, like an equivalent to like a studio one bedroom. But honestly, I'm getting
Oh,
ready to
okay.
go
That's not too
back
too
in
bad.
like maybe a month or so and try to clear that thing out as much as I can. Yeah, I'm
To
gonna be
clear
done
it
with it.
out.
Like it's not worth it.
You need to get rid of it. Nah, I hear you. Cause like I even said, if I ever had to move, I already know what I'm taking and what I'm not. I know what I'm sending down
Good.
and what I'm
I
not
didn't. I
sending
feel
down.
like I didn't mentally have enough time to do that because I had to decide.
You didn't though. The way you're
I had to
explaining
decide
it,
on a whim. Basically, hey, I'm not staying here. I'm not renewing my lease. But now I got to figure out what to
right?
do with all the shit that I've accumulated because there's a lot of things that we don't realize
Over the
as
years,
consumers, as
yeah.
Americans that want to be comfortable. There's things that we're used to that we feel like we need to have on a day to day basis to make our lives a little bit more comfortable, right? So I stuff. And I was just, I gave away stuff on my way out. I was like, yo, you want this 50 inch? Take it, please.
I think I would have done the same. Like, it's so crazy because like growing up in my household, my mom and my dad, they migrated from Jamaica up here. So I don't know. They didn't
Mm.
have a whole lot. They don't accumulate a whole lot. But my dad doesn't like throwing
That's
shit
the
out. That is
worst.
the problem. And it's so bad that I remember vividly. My best friend gave me a coffee maker, but it didn't work. So like
Mhm.
she got it as a gift. Someone gave it to me as a gift. I plugged the sucker in, it just didn't work. I was like, all right, whatever. So I went to
And
throw
then,
it out. I came home from work. Why did I find the coffee maker upstairs in my parents' living room? I said, Ma, I threw that out. Why is that here? She's like, your father says he can fix it. No, the fuck he can't. He's not an electrician. No, the fuck he can't. Like, you guys have a coffee maker.
who said it?
I
Who
think he
said it?
had. And the thing was, you know what he did? He threw it out. Why? Because he couldn't
Like
fix it. I
we've
told
had this
him.
conversation. What was the reason why it was
We've had this
in the first
discussion.
place?
It's so Let me tell you, he doesn't even know this. Good thing he won't ever see this. It's so bad. It's so bad that when I go to my mama's house and my daddy's house, she'll be saying, "Yo, put this in your car real quick and throw it out at your
Because he'll
apartment,
try to
please."
hold it
I'm
hostage
like,
for a couple
and
of
I'm like, "All right,
months.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'll do it when I'm like leaving. Nah, put it in your car now.
You got to be
See it."
proactive.
And
Yo, I
I'm like, it's the truth. Till this day, like I told my mama, I said, look, let me tell you something. If you guys ever downsize this house, we are hiring people. Ain't no way. Me and my
no
siblings dealing with
at
this. I'm
all,
so
at
sorry. Y'all
all. Oh
have
my gosh, I
too
can't even imagine. Just trying to
much
figure it
shit.
out. That sounds exhausting.
I mean, they've lived there since
Forever.
I was 2 or 3. No, I was 3 turning 4. I'm 34 now. So imagine how much shit they've accumulated. The only thing I still have at their house is my tires. That's it. I store my tires
Yeah,
there. I ain't paying for that
yeah,
shit. They
yeah.
got a whole, they got
That's
space.
fair.
But
That's fair. You got the
they got
space,
room.
but all this
But
other
beyond
shit,
that, it's all theirs. And there's 2 senior citizens. What the frick are y'all doing with this
nothing,
stuff? What
nothing. The
the
answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. But that's the thing about it. Like maybe you guys it would behoove you guys to like maybe every spring or something to just like pick a room and just clear that bitch out.
So, like I said, what my mama does, she doesn't just do it with me. She hands stuff to my brother too to bring to his company,
You, your mama,
right?
and your
So, like,
brother need
she
to
ain't
pick
stupid.
one room and clear it out.
My father, all right, so I don't know about your culture, but in Jamaican culture, Caribbean, we send down barrels. And it's like we'll send down
Oh,
stuff for
gotcha.
family members and stuff. And you put the essentials, paper towel, toothpaste. Those things are expensive in Jamaica,
Really? Oh,
unfortunately,
because
right? This,
imported.
yeah, depending how yeah, some stuff is imported. I don't get it.
Yeah,
It could
yeah,
add up.
yeah.
The last one he sent, I saw my dad come down with a stack of hats with all the same logo on it. And I just said, why do you have those hats? Oh, they were giving them at the store and I picked up my glasses.
Like away, like giving
So
them
you
away.
took. Yes. He's like the guy. I think the guy was just kind of getting rid of him, and he's like, "Great, I found someone."
The
Tossed it to my
worst
dad. He
person you
never
could
wore
have tossed
one.
it to.
War One. He put them shits in the. I don't know who is in Jamaica right now wearing Hakeem Optical, but somebody, somebody is there, all up in there wearing Hakeem Optical. And if you in my city, Toronto, you know Hakeem Optical. Like I love that man. He's an amazing
Oh
guy,
my
but Lord
god,
have
that's really
mercy. I'm
funny
gonna
because I
say.
can imagine that's really a fucking thing. Somebody out there is definitely wearing that hat. They're like, this is a good
There's a
hat.
whole bunch of them because
It's
yeah,
a
it's
sturdy
sturdy,
hat.
man. It's
This is a
sturdy, and
good
I'm
hat.
like,
His logo is the hat.
and all I'm thinking is
It's
the damn
sturdy.
commercial. Your eyes can sell it all at a Keem Optical. I'm just saying.
That's
Oh man.
hilarious.
Let me do.
Hakeem Optical. Hey, free promo in Jamaica though. Hey,
Right? Let them come back up to Toronto and be like, "Mini, forgot Hakeem Optical right there." I'm like, never mind. Anyway, you kind of touch base. You touch base on like living other places, but the time zone, the safety, having the your tribe of people. Where have you thinking of like relocating? Curious, because
I
right now you're in
am in
Mexico,
Mexico.
war in Mexico. Yeah. So like, where else would you relocate
So
to?
that's crazy because like when things start feeling shaky, you start looking for your exits, right? So, like, I'm not saying it's shaky now, but like the value of the U.S. dollar fluctuates here. So every month,
Yeah.
my rent has gone up over the last couple. Yeah, it's a thing. So you know how like in America, wait. So
Hold
you know how
on.
like in America, yeah, in America you have this is how much is your rent, right? In Mexico, they
Yeah.
say,
Same
hey, your
here.
rent is 15,000 pesos. This is how much your rent is.
Okay.
Whatever that is in American,
Okay.
that ain't got shit to do with us. This is how much, how many pesos I want, right?
Got it.
So the conversion rate changes daily.
Oh
Hmm. So
shoot.
I just showed this in the group that I'm in, but originally when I moved here, my rent was about 700, right? Because I'm paying 14,000. So over the course of since I've been here, which was like I've been here since early July, let's say December, January, February, I was like at 720, 740, 760. Mm-hmm. Rent is going up.
And it's just going.
That shit is a little
Yeah.
unnerving, right? When you're like, you
Yeah.
have an
It's
idea of
going up
how much you want to
fast.
spend, you're like, this is it. Not saying that it's gonna get crazy. It's not like gonna shoot up to 900. Please, Lord, let's just pray on it. Um, but
You
like,
better do that.
but when you have a certain mindset of like, this is how much my expenses are, this is what I'm budgeting for, this is what I've got going on, and I live comfortably doing this, which is not like crazy. $700 for rent out here is not nuts. It's something that happens pretty often. I've known
Yeah.
people that are living in places that are for 400, 500 that look a lot better than mine even, but they just live a little bit further
Wow.
from the
Okay.
beach. I prefer to live closer to the beach, so that's just how I am. But that's a whole thing. That's something that you would actually have to consider. So, like, because of that scenario, I was looking at other places and I was like, I don't really want to leave because I really love it. I got all my shit here and now I'm not getting a storage in Mexico. I throw the shit away. So, I was considering Colombia because I mean,
Okay.
I'm already on Duolingo. I'm about on my 100-day, streak. I'm doing really well. And I'm practicing my Spanish very like a whole lot more. I'm understanding a little better, and Colombia does not play about Spanish. They are not speaking English. You better. So
Mm.
Colombia was looking real
Imagine.
attractive because their money's pretty steady. It's not moving anywhere. Also, the places that are out there, gorgeous. These are looking really good,
Mm.
right? I'm looking
Okay.
for the more bang for my buck. At the end of the day, that's all
Of
I'm looking for,
course.
right?
Yeah, I get
And
that.
so it was between Colombia and then, of course, that time zone problem that I am having so much.
What is it in Colombia?
So
I'm
I
curious.
believe
I don't know. Like,
Colombia, the time zone isn't that different. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Eastern. Yeah,
okay.
it's
I was gonna
not.
say. I
No,
think
it's
it's
not very
Eastern.
different. But that's why it made sense.
Oh,
I was
okay,
like,
yeah, yeah. I
okay,
see what you
Columbia, and
said.
it might be on my AT&T plan. Awesome, let's do that. That sounds like it might be one of the fancy
Yeah.
countries that they cover. So I was like, okay, maybe Colombia, but outside of Colombia, I've always considered like Vietnam or like Bali. The only reason I didn't choose Bali was because of my dog, though. So there's that.
Wait,
So
what
in
about your dog?
Bali, you can't come in with a pet. If you they use these they use this language. They said if you bring a pet, it will be destroyed. Is the word that was said and that I read, and I was like, oh, I've had my dog for 14 years. We gonna fight? What you mean? We're gonna scrap 100%. Like I can't put my dog's life at risk. I mean, he's older, but what the fuck? So I'm
Let the dog die gracefully if that's the case. The
no,
hell?
but that's the whole thing
That's
because I think they
rough.
have like an abundance of dogs. Like they have an overabundance of like animals out there
Oh,
that are just
okay.
that
They
have
don't
no
need no
homes,
more.
and so they're like, "Don't bring your fucking dog here.
Mm.
Don't bring your pet here. You bring your pet here, we gonna kill it." And I was like, "Yo, that's a good enough reason not to bring him. That's a good enough reason for me not to come."
That yep, yep. That's a good reason not to go. That is
100%.
yeah. I mean when nothing said they're gonna terminate the damn
They
dog.
said
That is
destroy was the
okay.
language they used. I was like, oh my god,
Destroy is basically
murder, murder.
I ain't gonna say it. 'Cause I ain't trying to disrespect nobody that's from there, but destroy is basically
No, it's rough. It's rough.
yeah.
And then Bali's like they're passing laws that are just kind of like really off the chain for me. So I'm like, yeah, Bali was on the list, but I had to
Yeah.
scratch it. So Vietnam was always like I've been to Vietnam before. Vietnam was beautiful. So I was looking at Korea as well. South Korea was
Okay. I have a cousin
nice.
that lives in Korea. She teaches English over there.
Listen, South Korea looking
Yeah.
real sexy. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at some stuff today. I was like, listen,
Look, I heard it's really nice. I heard
they love black
it's a
people
good
there. They be
living
want
over
to touch
there. I
us and
heard.
everything. Listen, they
Love,
want to be us so
love.
bad, and they make fried chicken. Come on, so halfway.
There's actually a huge dance hall community over there
What?
too.
These I would never
So
guess.
yeah,
Ever.
look it up. Like they love a dance hall. Love a dance hall, and they be doing the dances better than me because I can't
Koreans
do
are
the
like
no.
people that
They
are there that are black that dance there.
yeah
All the above.
yeah. I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't know. They adapted. Maybe they adapted from. I hate to say it, the
Oh
war,
no, there was
perhaps.
definitely listen
Like,
because Korean fried chicken definitely came from black people. Let's be clear. So
I know
South
that's what I'm
Korea
saying.
definitely like
That's what I'm saying.
adopted a
From
lot of the. I was because there are times where I'm like, yo, Korean
like,
fried chicken is better than black fried chicken. I don't know what the fuck they doing, but they got this down to a science.
I have never had it. I have never had it.
Never
So
had Korean
Toronto, I don't
fried
know if you've ever
chicken.
been, but Toronto, no, and it's all over here in my city. It's just a matter of me
Oh
going and doing
baby,
it and trying it. Am I missing
you
out?
need to know.
I will try it. I will definitely try it
With the
eventually.
radish.
I'll get to
Oh
it.
my god, it's so good.
We got like a whole Korean town here. I'm pretty sure if I just went on the strip, I'll
Hans,
just be able to pick
Pochon
something up.
chicken. When I used to live overseas, like Korean food was like that deal.
It was on. Yeah, like it's crazy that you talk about Korea. Like I remember there was a moment where I was like, I need to get the hell out of Canada.
Yeah,
I need to pack up my shit
it's like America
and go.
2.0.
Like
You guys,
it was just
it's just a better version
yeah. I
of
think
us.
yeah, like I was really like looking into it. Like I was heavily looking into it. Like just primarily because the older I got, kind of like topping what you said, like the softer life. I looked at like this, the ghetto of being an adult. If I could somehow make it softer, more tolerable, why not? Like as you said, I always say it too. Life be life and people be people in. And sometimes I rather, yeah, like I'd rather just like choose myself for that moment. I rather
As you should, and you shouldn't have
just
to choose between
not
yourself
have
and
to
like
stick.
work.
Yeah, and I have to stick into the box that I always say, like, society puts you in a box. And I'm like, I lift that lid off many years ago because I just said, I can't do this shit no more. Y'all are killing
They
me.
will. They'll
Y'all
kill
are
you
very
and then
much killing
replace you.
me. Oh, damn. Shit. That was
Hmm.
just. Did you have to go
It's the
with
truth.
that?
But that's but once
I
you
mean,
start like
I know.
figuring that out. Once you realize like that's exactly how they will show you up and spit you out. Like
You're right.
I learned that when I was a server when I was living in Georgia. Like they
Mm,
worked me to the bone, and then
mm,
like the bone. Like I was working for at like Christmas time, and like I threw my knee out or something. I was in pain. I was like, huh?
working.
Working as a
Working as a
server,
server. You threw
walking,
your whole knee? Down.
pacing all over the freaking restaurant. Huge restaurant, by
Yeah.
the way. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm exhausted after Christmas. Here comes New Year's. I'm trying to go somewhere for my birthday.
Yeah. Restaurants
I'm
get
trying to go somewhere
hit.
for my birthday. They were like, hey, if you don't come back and work until Valentine's Day, then we're just going to have to let you go. Bitch, what? Listen, chew you up, spit you
Down.
out. Like they don't give a damn. Like loyalty and all that extra. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
family. No,
Oh no, I'm surpassed that shit. I'm definitely surpassed that shit. I've told people all the time. I'm like, you think people actually they actually identify you by your
hell
first and
no.
last name?
You
You are
are
a number.
employee
You
number
literally have an
520.
employee number. Okay, that's why they said like, yo, at my job, literally we call it a badge number. They'll say, "What's your badge?" I already that was the first time I knew.
So you in the military.
First time I knew. I was like, y'all bastards.
No,
All
that's how they
right,
do
I
you.
get
That's
it.
how they do
I
you.
get
And
it.
then
Yeah, but it hit me. But like, okay, so with me wanting to like move and anybody that's wanting to relocate, like what benefits have you found that's like the benefits towards like your mental health? And like what steps do you do to maintain it while being in Mexico? And just being like in a space of like
no,
it's
it's
not your
not.
original home. It's
So
somewhere completely different. Exactly. So like what do you do?
so I find myself definitely going out of my way to be more aware of like my mental health. So every morning I do find myself like doing yoga and meditating, and it's
Mm,
freaking awesome to be able to do that and like not freak out. I think all day and stress out about bills because I think people like
mm,
I think people like kind of have the idea that bills are just a byproduct. It's just something that happens. Yeah, but when you're constantly working towards trying to pay those bills off, and they're every single month,
hmm.
and it like I'm
You're always gonna
and
have
I'm
them.
a type
Yeah.
of person like I work for myself. So if I had like a 9 to 5 where I knew exactly what I was gonna make every 2 weeks or whatever, I'd lose my shit because I'd be like, oh my god, I feel like
Hmm.
I'm stuck in this forever. Like this is only what I'm gonna be making for the rest of my life. And it's but
Yeah,
nothing more.
I hear
But
you.
then like chasing after like that hustle culture being somebody who is like commission based, it can be
I've
exhausting.
done
It can
that.
be so
Yeah.
exhausting. And so like being able to have
And it's toxic
100%
also, to
toxic,
be honest.
but just being able to like calm down and breathe and be able to take care of my mental health without worrying so much about the bills makes all the difference in the fucking world. And I can't stress that enough. Like
Mm,
I that makes a huge difference because there are times where I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, so yesterday was a shit day. Um, but today I'm okay. Bills are paid and I got money left over. I could walk to the beach if I wanted to.
mm,
I'm getting good vitamin D. It's nice outside. I'm not cold.
yeah.
I can't really complain. I could complain, but I couldn't.
What's the point?
So
Yeah, but like,
it's
what's
just
the
a
point?
different mindset, and then it's always like an adventure every single day. So there are times where like I catch myself because I'm remote. I stay in the house for like a couple days, and I don't mean to, but it happens because like I'm remote if I'm working from home. Or I
Yeah,
go
you're from home.
to a cafe or something, but that's always like a whole adventure to do that. And so sometimes I'll step outside. I'll be in the house for a couple days, and I step outside. I'm like, oh shit, I live in Mexico. People are speaking Spanish right now. And it's wild how that happens. Like I literally, it's crazy. It's a culture shock almost every time. If I spend too much time in the house, I leave
Yeah.
outside. I'm just like, oh yeah, see, see, yo quiero este. Like literally going back into my Duolingo and like tapping back into it because I don't natively speak Spanish, so it's
Right.
really great to learn. I'll tell you that. That's fantastic.
I'm
Amazing to
sure.
practice all
Yeah.
the time because you don't. I mean, you could get it in America. America's like kind of Mexico is as well, but but here it's definitely like it pressures you to do that. But I do find myself like I'm in therapy every week. So
Hey, I
man,
love that.
and
Me too.
every week I sit there and I talk to my therapist and I'm like, yo, at some point we are going to be bi-weekly, but we aren't there yet.
Oh yeah,
Every
100%.
fucking week I'm like, yo, every time something's going to make me cry. Something's going on this week every week, and it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, why am I in that here in this part of my journey where I need my therapist this much? I'm like, I feel like a lot of people don't be in therapy this long weekly, but I get
Yeah, I would say even as a coach, of course, like we want you to
yeah, branch
eventually
off and
venture out,
fly.
like go ahead, go big. But at the same time, I feel like what I've learned the most is you can't expect yourself to break down so many things you've done, like a pattern you've done
Yeah,
for so many years. Like if you've been doing a certain pattern for how many years, you can't break it down in like a year. It's
thank
gonna
you
take
for
some time.
saying
It may take a
that
little bit
because
longer, right? It's the truth. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, because we have this mentality where we think like, okay, I'm in therapy. Okay, I got a coach. I'm
yeah,
gonna be good in about 6 months. No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you, I've been, and I could say actively healing for about 15
oh,
years,
come
and I
on,
started in my 20s. So I'm about to hit my 15th year this year. I'm 35. I started when I was 20. It was just like a process of me just trying to figure everything out. And I found that I was very different from everybody else. I remember when I was 18, I contemplated suicide, deal with my suppressing myself and who I was, and finally coming to terms with who I am and all these great things. And that's when the process started. Like, okay, why did my brain do this? How do I alter? How did I this? Da, 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 da. Did I make mistakes along the way? Of
all of it.
course. I mean, shit. Like we all do. But you're also coming into a new chapter, especially when we're in our 30s. It's like it's almost like we're almost reliving our 20s in
Yes,
a different
yes.
way. So don't feel discouraged. Yeah, it is.
I'm like, we're
Ultimately, the
grown
difference
and
I
sober.
told my therapist, yeah, I told my therapist this. I'm like, I feel like I'm in this chapter of when I'm in my 30s now, being 34, and I'm like, I'm in my 20s again, but I got money. Like that's just basically what the case
And
is.
sometimes
The
not a
20s,
lot.
the 20s, I didn't have a lot of money yet. At this point, I'm like, okay, I got a little more money, so I can do things that I want to do. I can experience life different. I could, pack up and move to Mexico. These are the things like when you, especially like your life changes a bit at 30.
Yeah.
I think at least like. I know people are like, "Are you scared to turn 30?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm more excited." And then 31 hit, and I was like, "Fuck y'all!" And then I was like,
No, for
"Fuck you,
real.
fuck you,
No,
fuck
I
you." And then
understand. Oh
32
man.
hit, but 31 was straight dog shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. 30 was fine, but 31, I was like, fuck. But then like 32, 34, and now I'm about to hit 35. I'm like, all right, I'm getting a bit of a swing of things. So yeah, I think that we need to just honor the fact that you're going through new chapters all the time. So needing a therapist week to week, I don't think there's anything
Well,
wrong with
thank you.
that at
I like to.
all.
I really did accept
Yeah,
it because
don't
like
even
I
worry
think
about
we
that.
do as a society we tend to like put pressure on ourselves to like hurry up and get better or like this person did this. Why should you doing that?
Yeah,
And
shit.
I mean, I should hold a little grace for myself because, granted, I was coming out of a really crazy place where I was doing things differently with like even dating and and like just
Yeah.
living my life as a whole, just trying to figure things out because 30 makes you feel like you really shouldn't have your shit together, and you don't. You're
No,
really trying to figure it out.
you know what? I would have to say, like wholeheartedly, I blame every ounce of entertainment that I watched that was 90s. Okay, all of it. Because them bastards made me think that by 30, I should be a little bit
Showed
more,
us both
you
face ass
know,
lies.
like
Both.
bold fucking face ass lie. Because I remember, I mean, obviously the times are different, economy was different. Like you said, the dollar goes up and down. Here in Canada, our dollar for many years was straight trash. It's getting a little bit better, but the cost of living is just
It's
ridiculous here.
it's going up everywhere.
Like it's
Like I
just
like
yeah.
in America.
No, for real. It's the likelihood of anyone our age owning an actual home is so less than likely that it's either where some people are asking their parents for an advance on their
How the
inheritance.
fuck does that work?
Okay. Well, if they
Okay,
co-sign or
they got
something
some
like
money in a
that,
trust.
right?
Um,
Yeah. Other are just waiting for their parents to unfortunately pass so they could
I
take
mean,
it. But
listen,
yeah,
a plan
these are
is a plan
conversations.
is a plan.
It's, it's unfortunate that like that's where we're at. Like I'm
It's
just
rough,
like,
but it's
damn,
so
like Jesus.
true because we're all just
It's the
like,
truth.
Musk,
I
I just wanna like live. And it seems harder and
yeah.
harder to just live in this generation. Like, God bless these like young babies because they be out here like, fuck this. If the vibe is off, I quit. Like that bitch Jessica, she cussed me out and she felt like it was okay to talk to me like that. I am not her fucking child. I am her employee. We work at the
I'm here
same place.
for
We are
it.
both human
Yep.
beings. Fuck this. I'm out. Like, God bless it. And I'm the same way, which is why I can't have a boss. I have to be my own boss. If somebody else is my boss and they come to me, crazy and sideways, I gotta quit because you're not gonna try to do grown ups.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
I've had many a time where I've gotten in my car and oh God, I don't know what's on my
mm,
dash cam because it records audio, but I know I cussed everything within those 10-15 minutes drive home. Like, and it caught everything with either reggae, dancehall, or heavy metal or something in the back. I know for a fact that my dash cam probably has some
yo,
footage. In fact,
and
I
that's crazy
should.
because that's mad
I
toxic. Like
should.
you already left.
Yeah.
You're already clocked out, and you're in your car in your
Yeah.
freedom,
And I'm cussing.
right? In your freedom, in your car, pissed because these motherfuckers are trying. And you probably harbored that all day because you couldn't really say nothing. You couldn't do
Oh,
anything about
100%
it.
I have.
Like that's just so fucking trash. Like
Yeah.
people need to start treating people like human beings. And I love this generation because they're not playing that shit. And I respect it. Like I get it. But also it's like, damn, these motherfuckers really don't want a job. Like AI is coming out, honey. AI is gonna take our jobs.
Yeah. Like there's been times where I've been like at my job like and I harbor it, I keep it in, and the minute I like walk out that building and I say, yeah, good night, yeah, yeah, whatever, cool, I get in my job, I'm like, yo, bomba clot, fucking, like I go off. But then there's been times where I just come home, I put my uniform in my closet, I go have a hot shower, and what I do is I call it intentional showers,
Wash away
where
the
I
day.
wash away the
Yeah.
day. I'm like, it's all going down the drain.
That ain't even me no
I
more.
get out, I meditate, I journal it away, I'm done. Like that's it. Like it's not. I always tell people I'm like the minute I put my uniform away, I don't have a job.
Mm,
I
mm.
am not an employee. You can't call me by my employee number.
Yeah.
This is my space.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me that. And I've been living that way for the past like 6 years, and it made a
Mm.
huge difference.
Just
Huge difference. Less fussing
separating
in the
work from
car.
home, and
Less.
I was talking about that with
Yep.
some of my agents in my agency. I was just kind of like, yo, what's really important for your mental health is to separate home from work because if you
You
don't, if
have
you
to
let those things
separate it.
clash, you can't take care of yourself because and you can't take care of other people. There's no way. There's no way that you can do your job
Exactly.
and take care of other
And
people if you don't take care of yourself.
uh-uh.
You come first.
And the one thing that I would have to say that completely, like, I would say changed my life was putting myself first. And I know people would say, like, that's selfish and blah, blah, blah. I personally feel bad for mothers because society's kind of made it seem like if by them putting themselves first, it's not being a mom. I'm like, let me tell you something. Do you know what it's like to go through your period, then give birth? Okay, potentially get your coochie cut, possibly shit on the damn thing. And then on top of that, I gotta carry this child up and down steps and stuff. Teach how to walk. If it throws up, I gotta
Imagine
clean it,
being
all this stuff.
single doing
It's a
that.
lot.
Jesus, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no fucking way. But And that's why I say like I love coaching women the most, mothers particularly, because I understand like throughout life you wear all these different hats and then you kind of lose who you are. So I'm like, come to me, let me help you find who you are again. But what's one thing that if you're comfortable, what's one thing that you've had to pick yourself up with like zero help, zero support by yourself? Like a situation where you had to pick up Crystal. Crystal had to just pick herself up and that's it with no support and no help. And also, what were you doing if you're comfortable?
Shit. No,
If you
it's
don't
not
want to talk
it's
about it,
not
we
so
don't
much
have
about
to.
me not want to talk about it, but I think maybe going out of my way to make the decision to leave one of my previous um, jobs, or yeah, IMO, a place that I used to work at essentially. I had to make the decision to kind of like choose myself because I was blinded for quite some time and I didn't realize how blind I was until I stopped. Because I was running myself
Mm,
absolutely ragged and I didn't realize that I was because the way the business was kind of set up, it's like go, 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 run, make the money,
mhm.
5 leads, run, make the money, da 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 da. And so it was just like a
Yeah, I
hurry up,
guess you.
hustle, go, get up, hustle, go, 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 go. And so it's like as soon as I forgot what I was doing, but one day I just stopped and I
Mm.
just kind of sat with myself and I was like, what am I doing? Like what's happening? And then I think I pulled myself out of it because I went out of my way to say, okay, I think I need a therapist because because there are times where I'm gonna drive
Mm.
this car off a cliff. Like this is gonna happen. Like it was really bad, and I was like, I it was definitely when I decided that I needed to go get a therapist after while I was in the midst of that particular job.
Not you saying that I'm wearing a sweater that says therapy works because it fucking
Therapy
does,
works for
guys.
what?
And I'm just gonna say, nah. Like honestly, as a the first time I was diagnosed with seasonal depression, I remember hearing depression, and I was like,
Woo
oh
woo,
lord,
right,
here we
right.
go. Because I think personally, as Black people, we don't really embrace that. We think it's for the weak and all of that bullshit. Finally, it's becoming more accepting. But I remember vividly, like, you depression. You're not depressed. Go depress them dishes. Read a book. Whatever the fuck. Pray to God. All the stuff. And I'm like, Mina, as it works. I understand that for many people, but I
Yeah,
needed more. And I remember the first few sessions I had and I was driving home. Meanwhile, I just want to paint the picture for you. I was in my car, not driving with no radio, no nothing
silence.
on. So I was listening to
I like a whole lot of
silence,
shut the fuck
and
up.
that's
That's a good
not
time.
me. I know, but for me, it just wasn't me. I was just, and I remember my therapist asked me, "When's the last time you listened to music?" I'm like, "I don't know." I couldn't even give her an answer. I'm like, "I don't know," and she's like, "Okay, I want you to drive home and listen to something." And I was like, "Oh fuck, like I don't want to do it." I bawled my eyes out. And also to Missy Elliott. Like that's not something that it wasn't like I was into some like, romantic bullshit or something to make you cry, some inspiration stuff. I was the Missy Elliott and I bawled my eyes out because I had
Yeah,
missed
I
that
like the
part of
joy.
me so much. So much. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Anyone that attends it, I'm like, do it. If you feel like you need it, it's for anyone listening or watching this, please like just reach out, whatever. Do it. It's like one of the, I would say, the best decisions.
Nah,
I can't speak on behalf
it's
of her,
definitely one of the
but I
best
can kind
decisions
of tell
I
from
ever
your
made. I
facial
can tell you
expression.
that for a fact. Because
Yeah,
I sometimes you just need
100%,
somebody to problem solve
100%.
with you that knows your story. Because you told them your story, they understand who you are and how you work, and they can problem solve with
Hmm.
you. It's like almost like having another you that's smarter and knows how to fix it. That's like
No,
how I
for
kind of feel about
real.
it.
And even as a coach, it's like I know this stuff, but it's having someone that is doesn't have
Yeah,
the blinders that I have on,
they can see the forest.
and
They
I'm
can see
like,
the
Yeah, because my therapist would be like, Coach, like, I'm like, look, work with me here. I ain't seeing it and I ain't hearing it. It's there, but it's not there. So you telling me is making me feel like, okay, all right, I could do this. This is
Right,
all
not
right. I
too
got
shabby,
you.
not too shabby,
I
but
got you. Okay.
100%. Like I felt like a
Not
lot
too
of
shabby.
times I couldn't see the forest for the trees at all because I was so in the thick of it, and as a Capricorn, I don't mean to make it a super like sign. I
Now she
know,
bringing in the
but
damn
honestly,
signs.
as a
Lord have
Capricorn,
mercy.
like I believe in structure and everything in its place, right? And so when things are out of whack, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like running and doing everything, and I'm just clouded by everything, and everything is just in my ear, in my like I see everything, it's just too overwhelming. I can't handle it. I can't.
Got it.
It's chaotic, and it makes me automatically just be like, okay, why am I even here? Am I working to
Yeah.
like survive? Who told my parents that it was okay to fuck each other and like make me? Because I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up. I had a whole
I didn't
conversation
know for
with
this.
my little sister about this, and we would joke about it, literally joke about suicide. But I'd be like, listen, this is kind of ridiculous. Like it's unfucking fair, and like I kind of want to cuss daddy out. Like, why did he feel like it was? And I kind of want to cuss mama out. Like, I didn't sign up for this. Maybe I wanted to be a bird. Maybe I wanted to be.
They
You
all
have the
bird.
audacity to
I'm
bring me
weird.
into
I'm
this
weak.
world knowing damn well it's hard to say I gotta
I
pay
have to pay
bills and I
bills.
gotta try to survive this shit and figure out what my purpose is. This is bullshit. I didn't sign up for it. It is unfair and selfish. And y'all don't even talk anymore. Y'all don't even talk anymore. Y'all don't even talk. Y'all
Not
don't
they
even
don't
like
talk.
each other anymore. How dare you, you selfish sons of bitches? I be so mad. I be going up. My little sister be like, yeah, right. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man. Like I didn't ask for this shit.
You went
I
through
didn't
this
ask
and
for
you
this
had the
shit.
audacity to put me through it? You're going through it.
I'm
And you're
weak.
putting me through it?
Yeah. Let me tell you. My daddy moved here like he was late 30s. So like recently I asked him like, I'm just curious, do you have any other kids that we don't know about? Because like he was 30 something, you know what I mean? He's like, not that I know of. I said, let me tell you something real quick. If any of your offsprings come by and say they want a
Oh,
piece
it's
of
a
that
problem.
will, hell no, because I had to deal with your ass for something years. I told my brother, I said, we ain't giving them shit. I'm so sorry. I had to deal with you and all your antics for all
I,
my life.
I
So
second
no,
that. My dad
hell
is
no.
narcissistic as hell, and I literally had to set some serious boundaries with him recently. Had to cut him off cold turkey. But if I tell you what, if I'm not on that life insurance policy, we have a problem.
It's called you talk to the sister and
Listen,
just say, look,
we
you
already know.
claim yeah, we know how this gonna go, right? You got me, right? I bet.
Um,
Cool. Done.
we
That's
deserve. We
it. Just
deserve.
just
I
don't
feel
piss
like
her
if
off.
if
Just
you
yeah.
are a parent, if you are a parent, if you don't have life insurance, you're a dick because you brought your kid into the nope. You brought your kid into this world to
Hold on. I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna add to that. If you are a functioning adult,
this is
your
fair.
ass should
This is fair,
have
but also, but
life
mostly,
insurance.
if you
I will not donate to nobody's GoFundMe account. I'm so sorry. We are
just
at this
AOA.
age now. This is off topic a bit, but we're at this age now where everybody should have life insurance. I had it since I was 22. And people are like, why are you getting it so young? I drive.
I live
I'm
in
an
this
adult. Why
world.
would I want to leave anything to my why would I leave any responsibility to my family? Make it make sense. Why would I do that? And we got to get out of this
Dude, don't
mentality of
listen.
that
I told
shit. I'm
everybody on my
just saying.
okay.
And if you're choosing a partner and they don't got life
You run.
insurance,
How responsible are you, really?
question them on that. I'm just yeah, cause like God forbid, like anything were to
I gotta go
happen,
beg.
you want me to have? I gotta go beg, or I gotta go take a loan out from the bank. Why should I have
No,
to
you
do
getting
that?
cremated. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. No, it is.
That's
It
still
still costs money.
expensive.
It costs
It still
dinero.
costs.
This is a fact.
Still
And
costs.
I told people on my Facebook, I was like, listen,
Yeah,
fam. And I and I was like, listen, if you post your GoFundMe and you know that there are all these life insurance brokers out here, i.e. me, I also help people do this nationwide. If you know that this happened and something happens to you or your family members and you post a GoFundMe, I will not be contributing. Do not ask. I'm gonna
I'm not. I'm
embarrass
not
you. Actually, I'm
contributing.
gonna post it.
I'm so sorry, but I'm not. I already said it. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's an unfortunate loss, but why am I donating to somebody who's a family of like four? This don't make no sense to
It was
me.
so
I don't
devastating. No
get that.
shit. No shit.
Of course, any of that shit is devastating, but really and truly, that's just a point of what I'm trying to say is like, get your shit in order. Get your shit in order. But now let's we kind of talked about earlier before we got onto the podcast, and I like to ask people this. Now I did a podcast with my partner last season. Is the dating pool pissy? So is oh Lord, look at the facial expression as she drinking water. Oh Lord, here we go. How is your dating pool looking? Now she said she had a dead body in hers beforehand.
That's
Before she went.
hilarious. Ew.
I I cleared it up. Like, but she had a dead body in it. Okay, so how is your dating pool looking? Does it have piss in it? And if yes, what steps have you taken to clear up the pissy pool externally and internally? Like partners you've decided to pick, what you shine away from? Because kind of like saying what we said earlier, we're older now, so like we're not picking the
We're not
same
going in circles anymore.
partners we used to pick. No, we grown. So like I'm curious, like how's your dating pool looking? And have you cleared it up?
So my dating pool used to be pretty bad. There was definitely some animals that passed away inside of that dating pool. Definitely roadkill. Little bit of sewage.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
stinky.
yeah.
Ooh, that's
Like
stinky.
like take your eyebrows and you jump in. So like it was pretty bad, right? Now, I mean, so therapy contributed to this so much, right? Um, so I've gone out of my way to kind of take care of myself so radically and be so prepared to like not include anyone else in my story that I'm totally okay with being by myself. So because I can take care
Mm,
of myself and be by myself and love myself and be just happy, it attracts the right type of people now. There were people that
yes,
were coming in and
100%.
trying to get in where they fit in type shit, and some of them passed by because I'm thinking they were ready or whatever, but a lot of them just
Those are the tests, to be honest with you. Just let you know. Those were tests because I always say this, when you start when you start realizing that and aligning yourself, the universe will be like, all right,
let's test
let's
her,
go, be
let's
like,
test
let's go
her,
check her real
let's
quick,
see if
and
she
they'll
got it.
yeah, let's go test stuff, and they'll send those tests, and they're like, let's see how she responds.
It's so
It's the
true.
truth though.
It
It's
really does.
happened to
It
me.
happens, and it pisses you off a little bit. But it also like it is a test. Makes you go out of your way to say, I don't fucking deserve this. And not only do I deserve this, I
Yeah.
deserve better. And I'm a fucking good person, and
Yes.
I don't have to deal with this. I can deal with this shit like on my own. Like I literally could just not. And once you realize like how good you can do on your own after you make sure that you're stable, after you make sure that you like yourself,
Yeah.
because you can love yourself all day, but do you like yourself?
Yeah.
Do you like yourself
Do you like
sober?
yourself? Yeah.
Right? Do you like, what are your
Yep.
hobbies? Like what are the things that make you happy? Like what do you do to actually take care of yourself, to make sure that you feel good on a day-to-day basis? Once you, because that by itself is enough. All of that filling your life up with you
Yeah.
is a lot and enough. So like adding another person into it, it's like I used to have this problem back in the day where I when I was dealing with this narcissist, where I was like, hey, I'm confused. Like I understand, like, is it supposed to be like I give half and they give half? and then we come together and make each other whole. And I was supposed to be yin and
You know,
yang. And then
100
little did I know, later on down the road, after going through strife and whatever the fuck, I'm like, oh, so I'm literally supposed to be 100, and they are supposed to be 100, and then we come together and sometimes we'll knock a little, water off of the top of that, that cup. You might pour a little bit over in that, but it's never going to be 60-40 because that's a crock of shit. And like, it's never going to be 50-50. It has to be you come with your 100, I come with my
Yeah.
100, and then we get together and
100.
make some shit happen, make some shit shake. And we have to be able to add to each other where we see fit, but also have each other's lives and be separate people. And that's so, so, so important. I
Yes.
didn't realize how important that was because I used to get so engulfed and so love.
That's also the lesbian thing, to be very honest, though. To be, it's, and I, gosh, I wish we could just
Mm,
stop doing that shit because
at all.
it's not
But you don't
successful
know
at
that.
all.
You don't know that until you live that. Like, you can be told that to you doing the
Until you
like
live
bitches
it,
tell me all
yeah.
day, girl, you need to love yourself. And I'm like, yeah, that's cute. I love myself. What are you talking about? No, 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 no. You need to be engulfed in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, really taking good fucking care of yourself and yourself
Yeah.
only. You so much so that anything that anybody brings to you is extra. It's not you falling into them and like engulfing yourself in another human being because they're it's sliced fucking bread. That's great.
Hmm.
They can be that. I love you so much. You're the best person I've ever met. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. But also, I've got my own shit, and I need to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. I think it's funny you say that shit because the two things that I learned, being in a household of parents that are actually about to hit their
Ooh,
40th
congratulations.
anniversary this year in August, um, was
Mm.
how much they have separate lives.
So fucking
To this day, they have separate lives, but when they come together, they come together. You know, my dad gives 100, my mom gives 100. You know, some days my mom only has 80, and my dad will say, "All right, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll give you some of mine, or we'll split it. We'll be
mm.
at the same." Like I've seen it. I've just seen it. And both of them coming to this country as immigrants, like, they really had to lean on each other 150%. So, I get what you're saying. And I learned that myself when I realized how I wanted, because like how I said, I was open. I came out of a very long, lengthy relationship, and I was like, I'm gonna open myself up to it when I was ready.
Mm.
Like people were like, start dating. I'm like, no, because it's the most disrespectful thing you could do
Into
is try to bring
your
somebody into
shit
your
that
own
you're
shit
not fucking ready.
when you're not even. So
That's
I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And too many people do that shit. They're like, yeah, I'm ready. Just no, you're not. No, the fuck, you're not. Take your time. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Because what is for you, and I say this, I said this to my best friend the other night. What is
is
for you
wrong.
is for
Oh,
you. It'll never
that is a
miss
word.
you. It will never miss you. Don't even worry about it. 'Cause I told basically what I said was, nothing could ever miss me because what is for
Absolutely.
me will never miss me. So I'm never worried. And once you kind of like dig into yourself as, all right, this is what I want, blah blah blah. It's like a human. It's like a sundae. I said, you got everything you need, all the layers, all the great toppings. Life's great, this great, and then you just need that one topping that you didn't even think of. It could be a cherry, could be sprinkles, could be hot fudge. I don't know. That should be your partner. That one little thing that you just didn't really. You know that it's gonna taste good on your Sunday. It's gonna make it feel real good,
But
but you're
you
okay with what you
100%
had
like
already in
I'm
front.
good. Like this is Neapolitan. This is exactly what I want.
You're
But
good, yeah.
sprinkles would be nice.
Sprinkles would be nice.
That would be nice.
Hot fudge would be nice. You know what? A little extra. It's okay. A little
Yeah.
extra
A little
peanuts. I don't
extra.
know,
I like a little
pecans,
razzle
almonds. I
dazzle.
don't know, whatever.
That's a good
A little
time.
extra something. Exactly, and that's what I think people are forgetting to look at when they're trying to get into relationships. Unfortunately, yes, people rush into it. I myself did courting last year. It worked. It was well, and I think people should use it. Like it just
What
takes
is
a
it
step
called?
back, especially with lesbians, y'all. Courting, the old school courting where you
Like candid
like
dating?
you just kind of like get to know the person for 6 months. I did it for 6 months. Me and my partner did it for 6 months. So I know because you know how like lesbians they
Oh,
hop in within like 2 weeks, right? For what they say this by the
oh yeah,
second date,
be
the
together.
U-Haul is being picked up. Like I love you so much. I think I met you before. You move in together. You're like,
Oh,
fuck you,
oh,
bitch. I don't want to be around you. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I've heard them stories. So we decided to take our time, and it worked. I think everybody, not even just lesbians, everybody should do that shit. Just take a step back. If you're looking for, let's say, that
yeah.
partner that you want to really be with, do the work.
No,
Shit. Like,
hundred
don't rush that
percent. Like
shit.
I would have to agree. Like I feel like not just courting, but just establishing some type of friendship and just touching bases where you can. Like I feel like that's super
Yeah,
important. I feel like the person like my mate
it
now,
is.
like she wanted to kind of get to know me a lot better, like long time ago. But honestly, I didn't give her the time of the day for like a long ass time because I was being like radically and very intentionally single for that summer, and I was not playing around. Um, and so I felt like the more we started to like just communicate, just easing into it, slower and slower, it made a difference because when you engulf yourself with just you, and then the topping is available, we can do a little topping.
The
I like a
extra
little extra
sprinkles, you know what I'm
spice,
saying? Like,
but I also
I
so you
like the
get
little
to
extra
see who this
sprinkles.
person is, like what kind of
Yes,
friendship are you going
yes.
to have, what kind of person you are when I'm going through some shit,
Yep.
So I feel like that is really important to
Yeah,
like build into a relationship. But it's hard to do that as a lesbian because let me tell you about these
100%.
feelings, honey.
Look, look, I just wish that as a community, we would slow down just to kind of like embrace the person because you may find out they could just
All
be your
that
friend.
extra.
They don't need to be
Yeah,
anything. Yeah, they could just honestly become one of your
yeah.
peoples, and
I've
there's
had people
nothing
like
wrong with
that.
that.
I've
Friends
had
are good.
situations like that where we were
Yeah, I
they
have
was
as well.
interested in me or I was interested in them, and then we just kind of hey this ain't cracking, is it? We should just be
We gonna be
friends.
we
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
should just be
like just
friends. We
people.
should do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna be
And
peoples.
sometimes
Yeah.
it just works out better that way. But then, like sometimes it's hard to do that when some people out here are just kind of playing games, and they don't want to. They just want to lead you on or something, make you catch feelings, and then like, oh, just kidding. What is all these?
Y'all backhand a person if they ever did that to me. Like straight backhand. Like you catching fades. You catching fades. Now, I ask everyone this question. Go straight, like, look. Um, what makes you feel dope? Like what is the best version of yourself? What makes Crystal feel dope?
Hmm. I feel dope when I am able to connect like-minded individuals. I feel like I am. I don't network that much for myself, but I've always been a type of person that I meet somebody and then I meet another person and I connect them. And then they're like, "Oh my god, this is the best idea! Oh my
Mm,
god, thank you so much, Christopher introduced me. This person did this." Like I feel really dope when I'm able to connect people and make them the best of friends or the best resources for each other. Like I feel like that makes me feel really dope. It makes me feel very valuable. So so I feel dope when I do that. I also feel really dope when I paint.
oh,
Mm-hmm. That
oh, okay.
because I
That's
don't think that I
dope.
can draw, but like my grandmother, she used to doodle all the time when I was little, and I didn't think anything of it really when I was little. But I got older, and I was like, Grandma used to really draw her ass off, low key, just like random little somethings. And I used to like really think about that and like get into that and engulf myself into it. And then I just randomly started doing it myself. And I'm like, I feel like my grandma's essence whenever I start to do that, and
She's
it, I
with
feel like it
you.
connects me to
Yeah.
her, and so when it makes me feel like
Mhm.
really dope that I can connect to her in that way. So yeah,
That's dope. Now you should go
man, that's
paint
my
after
jam.
this. Definitely should go. Look, I can't
Me too.
draw
I
or
can't,
paint
but
or
I
any of
figure
that.
it
Let me
out.
just
It's
leave that to you.
weird.
My nephew is like That boy could do it, but I cannot.
You'd be
So I'm gonna leave that
surprised.
to
Some of the
him.
things you just look up or something and you think it looks cute and you try it and trace it and it's it.
Not me looking at my plant trying to see
You
like
can
could I
do it.
do
You
it.
can do it. You
Yeah,
got
no,
to
I
find
can't.
something
That's
that
cool.
is cute
It's,
that you like. You see?
I'm gonna do it and send it to you. Be like, do you see what I'm talking
Oh
about?
no,
This
I'm
looks
not drawing faces.
bootleg.
Oh no.
So damn bootleg.
Y'all not gonna talk about me.
It's a
Yes.
plant. I know I'm gonna mess it up. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Like, can I have you
Listen, I'm
back? You know,
down. Listen,
can
I
I have
got
you
a
come
little
back?
time. I'm just talk life.
All right. Yeah. Right? Maybe next time we do it, you're gonna be like, I don't know,
I might be
Vietnam,
in Colombia,
uh,
something. We'll see. We'll
hey, or
see.
Colombia.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We have to wait and see. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for again for tuning into another Dope Life podcast. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm your host, Coach AJ. Walk with peace.